Paper Kites. The Bloom. Lovely one, that. How are you? Hope you're alright. It was raining today. Annoying, isn't it? I mean, the pandemic's one thing, but the pandemic and rain, that is taking the piss, isn't it? Where you all watching from? Idaho. Well, if you don't know, I don't know. California. Cali. Florida. Cali. Wow. Just getting up. Was it 10 o'clock in California? Glasgow. Ireland. You get the idea. People from all over the place. Florida again. Lots of Florida and California. I bet it's sunny there, isn't it? Leeds. Right, let's. I ask some questions. Oh, fucking hell. How long is this pandemic going on? Claire, good morning, Ricky. Glad your gig went well last night. It was great. I loved it. Last one. Got just before they shut down. Got one more warm up in Supernature. Supernature's better than it would have been without the pandemic. I must admit that, because I think you get good and you get comfortable, so you don't notice mediocre material because it's all working, because you're doing it well, where you've done it so often and the crowd, and then you look back at it, and when you sort of like start again and you start with better material than you did to make good, so it'd be even better, if that makes sense. Right. If you were ever to go on Celebrity Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be? Good question. Bowie springs to mind. I think the people that do best, they either do their like a small subject or a pop subject, don't they? I don't know. Maybe Faulty Towers. There's only 12, and I've seen them 50 times. But they catch you out. They catch you out with things. What would I do? I think I'd prefer to do something like Bowie, because it's got more scope, but it would be harder. But I'd probably do that and really embarrass myself on a really easy question. It's a good question. I like that. I like the specialised subject more than the general knowledge, really. I think they patronise celebrities a bit. It seems to be easier questions than the average mastermind one. Tiana, I struggle with depression, especially after this year, and was just curious, when you feel sad, what makes you feel better? What makes Ricky the happiest? Well, I can't say that I'm lucky that I don't think I do suffer from any sort of depression, but like today, I was fed up because it was fucking raining, and I can't go for a run because it's shit. It's horrible. Exercise makes me feel better. If I don't exercise, when I had a frozen shoulder and I couldn't work out, I felt, oh, that really. I mean, that clinically makes you feel better. Exercise. So. I'm playing with dogs. I go do that every day. It's preventative. I never get to feel sad because I start the day with playing with 30 dogs. Okay, dogs, exercise, music. I always have music nearby. Chatting, having a laugh with mates. I mean, that's just, again, that makes you feel. This is nice. The funny questions makes you feel. That's what I think. I think that's what people don't realise, that even if you thought you were a loner or something, or you were antisocial. Like in the pandemic, when you couldn't even go into shops or nod to people or sit in a cafe with them, we're sort of pack animals. So you sort of miss that, even if you don't think you would. You sort of do. You know, you feel like you want to, be with other humans. You don't want to feel lonely, I guess. Um, you want the choice, because sometimes I go, oh, fucking hell, I don't want to walk down the street, get everyone off the street. um, oh, what things make me happy? Yeah, so dogs, a hot bath. I like baths. That's nice. Cozy things, normal cozy things. Wine. That's probably not good advice if you feel sad to have a wine. I'm not a doctor. Uh, Dogs, music, having a laugh, friends, comedy, YouTube. I just go on YouTube and find some stand up. Or learning, learning. If I'm bored, I think of how do clouds float when they're frozen? What? I look at lectures about things, just learning. I want to know everything. Um, yeah, keeping your mind busy. I think I play a lot of chess. A computer. Yeah, just doing stuff. Creativity, definitely. Writing, working. That. Again, I work and I've got too much. And I think, oh fucking hell, I hate work. uh, Good question. Annabelle, as so many shows have failed after translating to another country, were you ever apprehensive about a US version of The Office? Um, yeah, but I thought I've got nothing to lose. I've done mine. If they want it, it'd be great if it works because everyone's happy. And if it doesn't, you know, so what? Um, uh, and I don't know. It was the first one to work in probably 30 years, I think. And still probably the biggest, most successful. Uh, what's weird is I think people thought it wouldn't work because it was so parochial, but actually it's not because it's got big themes. And also one of my biggest influences was American comedy to the extent of putting in a love story, the sort of Tim and Dawn thing that was stolen from American sitcoms. They always put in a sort of a rom com element. But I made sure I didn't mind either way, really. They had to make it for themselves and just give me some of the bunts. So, yeah, it worked out well, didn't it? For everyone. Merry Christmas. Leopold and Loveday. Mr. Gervais. What are 3 questions you wish you knew the answers to? Well, there you go. Anything goes. Glad Supernature warm up was a hit. Oh, oh. Well, I want to get to the bottom of this Big Bang thing. But I know we've mapped it back to a few hundredths of a second, but you don't know what happened before that. What was it like before the Big Bang? There was nothing. That blows my mind. Um, I've been reading Lawrence Krauss's book, the thing about how do you get something from nothing. And of course, he starts by explaining, well, the definition of nothing is sort of up for grabs. So just everything goes out the window with quantum physics and stuff. So I wish I knew more about that. There's a funny adage that goes around. So if you think you understand quantum physics, you don't understand quantum physics, which is good because I think I don't understand it, which means I'm a genius. So that's logic. Uh, oh, what would I want to know? I'll tell you what I want to know. I want someone to do one of those animations of like the first man, first Homo sapien, and him growing, and then how they migrated during, continental drift and everything. I just want a time ticking down. I'll go, oh, he went to Australia. Oh, he went to. That's what I'd really love to know. That see a quick map, an animated map of man and how he got to you know, conquer the world. What happened before the Big Bang? Uh, Time travel fascinates me. I don't think it's possible because I think, by definition, if it was, it's happened and it hasn't, so it's not. I think Stephen Hawking said, in theory, if you go faster than the speed of light on a craft, it's possible, but that bit's how is. And also, he said the fuel tank would be infinitely big. So, yeah, those. Someone tell me all about those. Uh, Julia, glad you got another warm up for Supernature. Look forward to watching it on Netflix one day. I know, more than a year still. My question is, what do you predict is the future of the human race over the next 100 years and also a million years' time? Well, the human race as we know it now won't be around in a million years' time because we'll be a different species, effectively, I imagine. Um, uh, we'll be the ancestors of that species, but we'll be a bit different, and I don't know what that'll be based on. Already, the term fitness has changed, evolutionary speaking. Survival of the fittest. Those paradigms of what fit is, what works, what gets your genetic material on, is changing. So I don't know. 100 years, I think only technology will be different. We're, as I said, we're the same species we were 100,000 years ago. So I think if we lived another 100 years, I think things change. It's all relative though, isn't it? I think the things that like 50 years ago, and I think, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, that's mental, but they're superficial. They're technological, really. But a million years' time, I don't know what we'd be like. Be massive, won't we? Just be blobs, just big fat fucking blobs. Blob, blob. I think, I think life expectancy went down for the first time in like thousands of years, a couple of years ago. So a little bit. You can have too much of a good thing. Sugar. uh, I don't know the answer. Is what basically what I should have said that at the beginning. I've no idea. But technology would be. I think we're definitely in 100 years. I think we see sort of science fiction cyber already. They've got like fucking bionic eyes and arms and that. What is it going to be like? Maybe there will be a fucking head in a robot one day. I still get a bucket. In 100 years' time, everyone else will be thinking these amazing robots, but he chose the bucket. It's the brain in a bucket of piss. Fucking hell. Oh god, it was cheaper. Um, Ollie Afterlife. Oh god, Jesus Christ. If in 2,000 years' time a group of people starts worshipping you as a new messiah, how would you like them to celebrate your birthday? So Jesus does Christmas, doesn't he? Um, uh, what else? What do I do? That's a good one, isn't it? Have a laugh. Annoy someone. Say what's really on your mind. For one day, like the purge, but with insults. Yeah, that'd do. Joey, if you could shrink an animal down to the size of a cat and domesticate it so it would live happily as a pet, which animal would you choose? What the first that came to mind, just because of its size, is an elephant. A little cat-sized elephant running around. Like that. Would be good, wouldn't it? Or a little hippo. Little fat hippo. running around. Yeah, little rhino just smashing into stuff. You can have a little pet rhino and have like 10-pin bowling, and he's wiggling like that. You let him go, and he goes bang, and he fucking loves it, and he smashes them like the Flintstones game. It's like, oh god, an elephant would be good. Yeah, that'd be good. They're smart as well, and they can carry stuff. Get me a beer. Comes up with a little can of beer in his trunk. Like that. Cheers, Louis. Louis, Louis the elephant. Mr. Nelly, could have had Nelly, couldn't I? Gunner, fuck's sake, Gunner. What is the Munchausen trilemma? I don't. Right. It's basically, it's some philosopher who said, I think it's bollocks, right? He said something like, you can never prove anything. You can never prove anything because whatever proposition you put forward, it falls into three categories, and it's something like it's a circular argument. Like that doesn't count as a circular argument. What's the other one? There's something like, oh, you can keep saying, but how, but why, like a kid goes, but why, you can go on. You can never get to the end of that question. And there's another one. I don't know. Fucking hell, Gunner, you're a dog. Why are you asking me questions like that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a stick. Gunner, it's a stick. I think that I think a more interesting one is that there's contingent or necessary truths. Like everything we know, every fact, every bit of trivia is a contingent truth because it's based on the laws of this particular world. Like gravity is a truth, but it's a contingent truth because we can imagine floating around, or we know there's some things maybe without gravity. So the only necessary truths are sort of in logic and maths, and everything else, what we'd call facts, are contingent truths. Because if you could imagine it a different way, because you can't imagine a square circle. So outside tautology, 2 and 2 is 4 is a necessary truth because of the definition of what 2 is, and what 4 is. You can't imagine that any other way. You can say it. You can say 2 and 2 is 5, but then you've just made 5 2 lots of 2. So all you've done is change the word. Fucking up, Gunner. There's a stick. Go get the stick, Gunner. Rupert. Guess who popped back to ask a question? You blubbering block of lard. Hey, Uncle Chubbinator. Owl says hi. If you could pop over the rainbow for 1 hour to see all your long lost pets, and me, of course, for a cuddle, would you? And what would you say to them? Because we understand. Of course, if it was possible. I love the idea of a little afterlife or a go. I love the idea of that, ghosts and things like that. I don't believe in the supernatural. Apart from you, Rupert. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? I think that's what dreams are for. So you ever do that thing when you dreamt, oh, I was playing with an old pet, and you wake up sort of happy and sad. That's sort of close enough, isn't it? That's what memories are for, isn't it? A little spiritual cuddle. Cheers, Rupe, you fat haggis. Sherlock, when you were still a mortal and didn't have to think of how you came across in public, what's the most normal, regrettable thing you've done out of instant frustration? I.e., Sherlock's mum would give the finger to the red man in the pedestrian sign. Yeah. Inanimate objects still annoy me. Like if I bump my toe, I'm angry at what I bumped. It could be a fucking step ladder, and first of all I think, who can I blame? Right? Who fucking left that step? Oh, it was me. Okay, right, fine. Well, fuck you. Um, when I was little and I believed in God, I remember once I was like 6 or something, and if I bumped my head, I think because my mum had said something like, "If you're naughty, you get punished. Jesus punishes you," or something. And I remember, right? So I was walking, and I hit the underside of the stairs. I was about 6, right? And I hit my head, and it really hurt. And I thought, well, God did that, right? And I said out loud, "Haha, God didn't hurt." It did, but I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. That's what a weird 6-year-old that is. Even when I believed in God, I I didn't respect him. I didn't like his methods. I didn't like his mysterious ways. Like if I'd have been naughty, he went, "I know, I'll make that little twat bump his head." I didn't like that. Didn't like the way he worked. So I suppose that is the weirdest. Oh dear. Giving away any psychiatrists. Freya, if you could be any of the cast members of Afterlife for a day, who would you be and why? What, in real life, like it? I'd be that real person, and the world would that would be me. Oh, oh God, that's tricky. That's tricky. I mean, it'd be awful being Brian Gittins, wouldn't it? That'd be awful. Or dog waste man. That'd be terrible. Who's got a nice normal life in that life? No one. Has anyone got a nice normal life? That's not interesting, is it? A nice normal life. It's not interesting. In real life, it is. A nice normal life in real life is brilliant, but a nice normal life in fiction, pointless. Why are we watching that? Who would I want to be? I think Tony. At least he gets out there and says what's on his mind. So I chose well, didn't I? Fits me like a glove. That character. Good questions tonight, I think. Some philosophical. Gonna made me look stupid. There's a third one on that Munchausen trilemma. I can't remember. Kermit. You now have sets of fingers in place of lips. And your hands are just 2 giant lips. 1 lip per hand. The new situation makes gobbling up food very easy. Why does it? But Jane will not kiss you anymore. How would this affect Pickle? Why does it make it easy? I've got what? Just so. Oh, I see. So my fingers they just do that, do they? My fingers. So what about soup? So instead of lips, I've got fingers. So I like that, right? Anyone just tuned in? I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, that's good, that. Oh, that'd be good, that. Yeah, I'm into that. I'm not sure about the lip, just 2 lips for fucking hands, though. That's not so good. Oh, this is Frank Pickle. I'd have to I don't think I'd scrumble her with lips. I'd scrumble her with my fingers, which is now my mouth. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't be normal. Good, good question, Kermit. What the? Right, Bella. Last question. Bella always makes me laugh. What should I do if I ever catch up with that squirrel? Oh, just let it go. Let it go, Bella. I've saved a couple of squirrels from dogs. I know they're only doing their thing, but I can't stand the thought of it. But yeah, just let it go. Oh dear, pure instinct, isn't it? Different breeds as well, and different individuals. Some aren't bothered, but some they just live for squirrels. It's funny. It's funny. We know what dogs do with squirrels. Like they want to. I'm like that with dogs. Like I'll see a dog and I'll suddenly just start walking across the field. They go, "Where you going?" I go, "Dog." It's just like I just want a dog, like a toddler. When a toddler goes, I've fallen over lots of times, like fallen down little, like I was following a dog. Jane thinks that's how I die. I just fall down a ravine because I saw a dog. Well, that was a complete load of bollocks. Yeah, I'm gonna go and look up the Munchausen trilemma. It was good that though, wasn't it? What makes you feel happy? What's the future like? Um, yeah, I enjoyed that. Well, thanks very much. I've lost Colin COVID. I could have had a short play, couldn't I? Oh, here he is. Uh, So, hiya, Colin. Hello. What have you been doing? It's the same as every. Yeah, there's no going to be surprises in this play. There's no plot development. Let's get to it. What have you been doing? I've been floating around and can't wait to Christmas. So people are going home and they're going to carve and I'm getting their granddad and I get you. You're a cunt, Colin. That's basically the play. That's the play. Okay. All right. Cheers, everyone. Have a good week. Stay safe. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.